Alrighty guys, so the drift car is outside ready for me to start grinding on it. We got the rally car up here with Dave. Dave, what are your plans with it?
A couple things here. Car's been sitting for 3 years. First thing you want to do in a car that's been sitting for 3 years is change the fuel filters. So we got to go through the fuel system. We might run a different fuel than it's tuned on currently. It's tuned on race gas. We don't know what race gas, but there is VP Racing X85 available at these events. So I think we'll do some injectors. Obviously we want to pull the plugs, see its current running condition, how it's doing. There's one more thing too. Oh yeah. So these guys are gonna run in a novice class this year, and the novice class requires an even smaller restrictor. So we gotta take this one out, measure it, see what it is, change it most likely.
So one thing that we do need to go through that probably won't happen today is we do need to refresh the entire safety system. So we need new seats, new harnesses, and then we also need to refresh the couple of fire extinguishers we have on board. One is for a handheld fire extinguisher, the other is for the suppression system that's on the car. So that stuff does need to get done at some point, but for today, Dave's just gonna focus on the fuel, the turbo restrictor, and getting the spark plugs pulled so that we can really see what the running condition of the car is like. While Dave's doing that, I'm gonna head outside and I'm gonna start grinding the drift car.
Add it up. Okay, all right.
Back at it. I didn't get nearly as far yesterday on the drift car as I wanted to. That is going to turn into a much bigger project than I was expecting. With all the little plastic clips, all the grinding that's going to need to be done. There's a lot to do. Yesterday though, Dave did get pretty far with taking all the coils out, pulling all the plugs. Dave, you want to come describe what about the plugs for us?
Yeah, they're just kind of fouled from runtime. Just kind of gooked up. You can faintly see some heat marks. So when the car's in boost, it's under load. It's running really well, no problems there. As expected, you know, why would they tune it for light throttle cruising when all they're doing is racing? So put a set of fresh ones in and then read them after we dyno it.
We didn't end up pulling the fuel filter off yet because we are actually waiting for Summit to bring us the fuel filter that's gonna go in it because we don't want open fuel lines around everything else that's gonna be going on here. Turns out we did try and pull the restrictor off. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's that little notch down right there. It's held in by 2 set screws or just one? 2 set screws, and then it looks like it's also glued in around it.
These 2 set screws, can't really see it, but they're actually drilled out so that they can put a safety wire and like a lock tag on it to make sure that you don't pull out the restrictor and put in a less restrictive one halfway through the race. So we got to be mindful of that too.
Gotcha. So those set screws aren't just to hold it in, it's more to...
It's so that they can lock it and be sure that you're not trying to cheat.
Mess with it or anything. Cool. Again, while I'm grinding on the drift car, Dave is going to start pulling out all the racing seats and stuff.
Yeah.
This is going to be pretty tricky to get out of there, pal.
Think so? It's like Tetris or...
Yeah, look how small of a hole you have to fit through.
Come on, we got
I think this is good right here. I think we're just gonna watch Dave do that.
Oh, it's the brackets that are gonna screw me on this.
There we go. Here we go. Oh, you got that. You got that fifth point.
Oh no, the crotch strap. There we go.
Got her. Look at that. Easy as pie.
This seat's nice.
Heck yeah, it is.
I run this in my daily.
So these seats are actually out of safety spec. They've expired, so we do have to get brand new ones. I did just get a set of Sparco Circuit 2s for me and my brother, so that we're gonna replace the King Cobra. We're gonna replace the King Cobra that's in there, so then we have matching seats. One thing we do have to change is the person that we bought it from, the guy who actually drove was like 6'5", 6'6", so he's much taller than I am. I can reach the pedals, but it's not the greatest seating position for me. The problem is the seat bracket is already all the way moved forward, as you can see. So we're gonna have to do a little modification, at least on the driver's side, to move both those seat brackets forward. That's one thing we gotta figure out for the future. Other than that, let's get grinding. Dave's gonna keep working away on this. Stuff is not going well. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Then it started snowing outside as soon as I pushed the car out there. And when you're grinding metal and water gets on it, it gets a lot more gooey. As you can see, we got all this stuff pretty decent, but you can still see there's like dust and dirt everywhere. This is where it started to get wet, so it all started to clump together. Now we have to clean it. So to clean that stuff, David came up with a great idea. He brought this brush from his house, and what we're gonna do, I got a bucket of Dawn dish soap with water. I'm gonna soap down the interior a little bit, like, you know, section by section. I'm gonna soak it all down, take the brush, agitate all the dirt, and then what I got is I took the filter out of one of our shop vacs, and I'm just gonna try and suck up as much of the excess water as possible, and then go in and wipe it all down so that it's clean, so I can start scotch brighting it and sanding it and getting ready for primer and then hopefully paint. While I was outside grinding though, Dave did find, what is that tool called, Dave?
Telescoping bore gauge, I believe.
So Dave was taking apart the rally car, and he took the starter out because we're having a little bit of trouble with the starter button on the inside. It's just finicky, like it just, when you push it, sometimes the car starts, you kind of gotta like jiggle it a bunch and then it'll finally get going. Dave did find that one of the
trigger wire probably hooked directly to the button. You can see it's just not insulated very well, and maybe it's corroded and having a poor connection, but we need to do both to be sure it's gonna start during the rally.
Yeah, because we need it to start every time. Dave also did measure the restrictor, found out it was
34 mil.
And we need to run
30.
Yeah. So we need to get a new restrictor, so that means we have to figure out how to pull that one out, get the set screws out of there, somehow cut that glue out or whatever that stuff, that yellow stuff is around there. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna get cleaning. So the Dawn dish soap water spray worked out pretty decent. We got a lot of it cleaned. I did both sides. The only hard part is I don't know what I'm gonna do back here because there's a lot of nooks and crannies. And stuff like this is always just a rabbit hole of how far do you wanna go, how much do you wanna paint. So I'm gonna stop there for today. So we ran into a little bit of an issue. So that right there is the turbo restrictor. That's the turbo housing. That's like the front side of the turbo, and this part is the restrictor. The problem is the glue that they put around it probably in their minds were to reduce the odds of a leak. Created that now the restrictor basically is mated with the turbo, so there's no way that we see that we're gonna get it off without breaking something in the car. We tried heat, pry bar, everything you could imagine. So now we're gonna move on to taking the turbo out, put new coolant in it. So we are going to push the car back. We're gonna put it on the lift. Then Dave is going to quickly drain the coolant, start getting the turbo off.
Look at this, guys. John's doing work.
Oh boy.
Huh. He's about to take a coolant bath.
No good way to do this.
There certainly is not.
Did we take a cap at the top off?
Nope.
Of course not.
Well, it's right here. I can after you. I mean, you don't want to start that way. It's gonna be like Niagara Falls, dude.
Jesus, this is the longest drain plug I've ever friggin'. Oh,
Yep, definitely want that cap probably gone. Why is it not draining correctly? Whoa.
Ready?
Yeah.
Probably pulling off the wrong one.
Oh my gosh!
Oh. Yup.
You're good. Just keep going. You're good.
Well.
I told you.
What is going on? Oh! Okay. Go closer. You...
I can't fucking see.
Want me to grab you some towels?
No, I gotta go wash off.
And that right there is why I didn't want to do that.
Bro.
Dude,
I got a freaking.
you took a bath.
My hair's gonna turn green from that coolant dye that new dye that they use.
You feeling angry? You feeling stronger?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Start kicking buckets and shit. That was horrible, dude.
Nope, it ain't getting much better.
Look at that. Is that a magnet?
Yeah.
Why is there metal in the coolant?
Oh, that's a great question, isn't it?
Maybe it's not metal. Maybe it's uranium.
Oh,
Imagine.
gross.
Getting a hair dryer right here, pal. You got a hair dryer going.
An expensive hairdryer.
Oh boy. What a hard day at work.
Uh-huh.
So, I think we're gonna end the video here. We made decent progress on the rally car at least. The fuel filters actually just showed up. So in the next video, we'll be swapping fuel filters. We will be taking the turbo out. So it'll give us a better idea on whether or not we need a new compressor housing or if we can actually get that restrictor out. He took the seats out, so we got good progress on a bunch of rally car stuff. The drift car, we actually did make decent progress. It's just there's a lot of work to do. Tomorrow, I think Dave is gonna bring a sandblaster, just like Harbor Freight sandblaster, and we're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna go buy some media tonight so that in tomorrow we can start sandblasting it, see if that gets that a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer, and goes a lot faster than me having to like crawl around the back part of the cage, because where the seats are is the easy part. Once you get into the X's and then the back side, into the trunk of the cage and stuff, that starts to get a little bit time consuming. And I don't think we have time for that. So we are gonna end it there. Please, if you guys liked the video, go down below, hit the subscribe button, give it a like, and if you guys wanna see something, wanna see anything more, any questions, make sure to leave them down below in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Peace.